to note that that's one of the people you can take advantage of is Vincent. Ask him questions that you might have in your head about would lenders lend on this, how much do I need to spend, etc. So questions like that, don't hang on to them in your head. If you can ask people who know the answer to move you on quickly, then that's the thing to do. So lettings update. So normally I'd give some updates on regulations or hints and tips how to be a landlord or the compliance elements of renting. But I'm going to talk to you today about an 11-step guide that we're just writing at the moment, how to sell your house for the best price. So it's a service, this estate agency service is something that we've now added onto our offering. And do you know anyone who's selling in the next 6 months? You may be selling your own homes or your rental properties, or do you know anyone else who's selling in the next 6 months? Then these are the hints and tips that you might want to consider to sell for the best price. So it's quite a lot to it, so I won't step in too much detail on each slide, but take something from it about how you might maximise or you use an agent to maximise the selling price of your house. So this is the guide. We're working with our coach, and we've put this guide together to make sure that we can demonstrate to people who want to sell their house and get moved how they can do so quickly and for the best price. So the orange points are the ones that I think are most important on each slide. So I'll stop at each one of those and see how we go. So the first thing to note is to base your price on factual data. So there's sold comparables, what has sold, and there's what's on the market. There's quite a difference in timing between some of those bits of data points, because when you sell, it'll take a while to feed through the various systems to get onto Landreg. So there is a bit of a delay in that reporting cycle, so bear that in mind. So if prices are going up or down, there might be a lag of some of those things. But what you're doing is presenting your property to the market, and the market will see everything else. So be aware what people are seeing and how they view your property. Ensure it appears in the relevant searches. So if you want to sell your house for 305,000, don't put it at 305,000, because you won't appear in those searches, when people cap it at 300. So offers in excess of or offers invited is a really good strategy to make sure you capture the most people who want to potentially look at your property. Professional high quality photography, that's an obvious one, but make sure they're edited correctly. So the photo that you get in the house may not be the photo that ends up on Rightmove. It needs to be edited to the highest possible degree. So even sunny outside skies is a really obvious one. When they take photos, they're not always a sunny day, but they have been edited. So make sure that your photos are edited as well, inside and out, to make sure they give the best image of your property. Focus on lifestyle, not just features. So don't talk about the lounge or talk about what you do in the lounge, and talk about the lifestyle experiences that someone buying your house or looking to buy your house can experience from that. So that's just a tip on how to write engaging descriptions. Launch on a Wednesday. Our coach tells us this is the best day to launch, and he says leave the viewing until not the coming weekend, but the following weekend. The reason we're trying to do that is Saturdays and Sundays particularly good days to do viewings, because people can make it, and also you're trying to create a bit of a frenzy around your property to make sure that your people viewing see each other viewing, so you create a bit more demand. So this is an easy strategy to make sure that you create a bit of a hype around your property, because the first 4 weeks is critical when selling a property, and you want to make sure you get the best offers soon, if that makes sense. Do use premium packages, so your agent will have access to Rightmove Premium, so they can boost it. It's a fairly nominal fee, but it does help get listings. So what we're trying to do is get the most eyes on your property. That's job number one. Job number two is create some demand and create some frenzy. So that's what we're trying to do there. Social media, so use things like walkthrough video tours. So if people are looking to buy a property, they might look on Rightmove or Zoopla. If they're not looking to buy a property, you can probably catch them by the socials. So they might not be actively engaged looking, but if you can catch some of the people who are passive buyers, maybe that's the way to do that. Monitor and improve. So the click-through rate, I think if you're in the advertising world, you know what CTR, click-through rate is. Rightmove and Zoopla have the same things. I'm told between 5 and 10% click-through rate is reasonable. If it's way below that, your advert isn't performing well enough. So do ask what your click-through rate is. If it's out of some scope, then you'll know what things you might want to improve. Rotate property images weekly, a really good tip. So to keep your advert from going stale, because a lot of eyes will be on it, and they might just get ignored if it looks the same as it did last week. Take inquiries capture inquiries as quickly and as often as possible. So our systems allow us to capture inquiries 24/7, so not just when people are back in the office at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. So do make sure that your inquiries are captured and handled well. Always ask your agent to do viewings. It's often a more honest way that you're going to get better feedback if your viewer is talking to a stranger, not going to offend you about your own property, and they'll get you better feedback, I think often is the case. Block viewings as well. So get the feedback there. We talked about that already. Meet with your agent 3 or 4 weeks after the first round of marketing. So if it hasn't got the offers that you want to, have a sit down and think about what you can do to change those things. So staying silent for sort of 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks probably isn't the right approach. There are things you can do to reinvigorate your sale, your property. Step 11, offers and negotiation. Don't accept the first offer is one of the golden rules. Always start a negotiation process. Don't always negotiate on price. There might be timing elements or other fixing and fitting elements you can kind of work into the mix that might get you a better price, if you like. And ensure all offers are well qualified. Everyone's proceedable, if you like. That is it. So that's the plan that we're developing to make sure that we sell for the best price, keep our customers informed and get the best price the quickest time possible. Thank you very much. So we've got a podcast you can explore and listen to, and these are things we can help you with. Thank you for listening. Okay,